Ladies and gentlemen, it is a fresh, beautiful 50-degree Monday morning, and with that comes another edition of my top 10 best bets. It's actually a top 15 this week, going into week 8 for college football. Before this video starts, I do want to quickly say, guys, if you want to follow me on Twitter, link to that's in the description. I react to college football games, NFL games. I've been trying to tweet more things like that, so you can follow me on Twitter. Link to that's in the description. I know I normally quickly review my week and take a look at my previous bets. Let's just say they got a little lost. We'll go with that. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, so these are my top 15 best bets. Week 8's kicking it off. We've got the beautiful animation. It is amazing. Louisiana minus 17 at Arkansas State. So this is a Wednesday night game, I believe. Either Wednesday or Thursday. I think it's Wednesday. Louisiana was so impressive either last week. Last week they might have been on a bye, but I think the week before they were so impressive. Arkansas State is terrible. I think they're 1-5 or 1-6. Louisiana minus 17. I was very tempted to take the over in this game. If I remember correctly, the over was 66 or right around there. But I just thought to myself, I said, I don't want to be in this situation where Louisiana is up by like 30 points, but the over doesn't hit. So I'll just take the point spread. Louisiana minus 17. Arkansas State is terrible. Louisiana is playing their best football. This was a team that was ranked last year. They were ranked at the beginning of this year before their week 1 loss to Texas. Remember that? So this is a good team. Give me Louisiana. I think that's a Wednesday night game to kick it off. We've got Alabama minus 27.5 versus Tennessee. So this is a Saturday night 7 o'clock game. And Bama minus 27.5. Tennessee can score, but realistically, you take a look at Alabama. Their defense is hitting on all cylinders. 9 points against Mississippi State. Amazing. Bama is at home in this game in Tuscaloosa. Their offense with Bryce Young, they're a lock to me to score at least 48 points. So you do a little math. They're a lock to score 48. Maybe they get into the 50s. 27.5, that is a big number. But the way Alabama is playing, and there's a huge incentive right now for Alabama to win and win convincingly. So I really think there's a big incentive for Nick Saban and for this Alabama football team after their bad loss a few weeks ago to Texas A&M in College Station. There's a big incentive for them to win and win convincingly, just like they did last week at Mississippi State when they won 49-9. Give me Bama. It's a big number. In Tennessee, Tennessee played decent against Ole Miss. You can say what you want about the crowd, whatever. They played decent. They're a decent team. 27.5 is a lot, but Alabama, they're on a rampage right now. They're going to want to kill teams. Give me them minus 27.5. Illinois at Penn State, the under 46.5. So my thought process on this one is I do not know the status update on Sean Clifford, but I'm imagining, even if he was like healthy, I'm guessing they're just not going to play him. Illinois is by far the worst team in the Big Ten. I would probably still say Northwestern is the second worst team. I know they got a big win at home against Rutgers. I didn't see that coming, I'll be honest. But Illinois by far is the worst team in the Big Ten. And this is a game where you look at it, the over-under is 46.5. If Penn State is starting their backup quarterback, the only way the total points even comes close to 46 is if Penn State scores like 41. Because I really am questioning whether Illinois will get to 10. I don't think they will. They have horrific offense. Penn State has a great defense. The only way you get screwed in a situation like this is if there are short fields that come off of turnovers and things like that. If that doesn't happen and Penn State is starting their backup, you're looking at like a 27-6 type game. It is a small number and there is a risk, but give me the under in that one. Moving on, we've got Army +3 versus Wake Forest. I love the naval academies and things like that. Wake Forest, they're going on the road. Army's a good team. Wake Forest is 6-0. They're going to have to lose at some point. I don't think they're that great. They are undefeated. Good for them. I think they lose this week to Army on the road. Give me Army +3. So they could lose by, Army could lose and still cover. So I like that they're +3. Gives you a little room for error there. Kansas State at Texas Tech, the under 60.5. My thought process is Kansas State offense is terrible, and I think this is going to be a close game. So if you combine the two, a close game and Kansas's offense being terrible, you're talking about a low-scoring game, 60.5. I don't think that it reaches that number. Remember, the under hits if the final score in this game, 30 to 27, something like that. The under still hits. So that's what I think it's going to be. I got the under in Kansas State at Texas Tech, mainly due to Kansas State's poor offense. Next, we've got Ohio State minus 19 at Indiana. So with Ohio State, I'm just taking them. I'm not even thinking about it. Every week I will be taking Ohio State. The way they are playing is ridiculous. They have the best offense in college football. Every single week, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pair Ohio State, whatever they are, against the spread and the over in the Ohio State game, because Ohio State, they've scored 50 points in 3 straight games. I believe in 50% of the games coached in the Ryan Day era, Ohio State has scored over 50 points. It is absurd offense, and the defense obviously isn't amazing. So I think Indiana's going to score 17, maybe 24 points. This game has 56 to 24 written all over it. Give me Ohio State minus 19. Easy cover. That's a 7:30 ABC game, by the way. 7:30 ABC. Number 7, Oklahoma State at Iowa State. The under 47. Just two bad offenses. Give me the under. It is, a smaller number. I understand that. But two bad offenses, I'll take the under. Oklahoma State, I'm really not buying. I originally was going to take Iowa State minus 7. That line is all the way Iowa State minus 7. But to me, that's just too many. I don't feel comfortable taking Oklahoma State. But if you're talking about just purely based on value, Oklahoma State plus 7 is a really good value play, because Iowa State could still win, but 7 is a lot for a team that's undefeated. I get they're going on the road, and Iowa State isn't as bad as, I don't know how Iowa State's unranked. I said Iowa State was one of the most overrated teams, but they've gotten some rankings. You're going to want to rank them. At least put them at like 23 or something. I think they're 4-2 now. They're a good team. I mean, they're not a top 15 or top 10 like people were talking preseason. That's why I said they were one of my most overrated teams. But yeah, Oklahoma State has really good value, but I don't like Oklahoma State at all, so I'm just staying away from the point spread in this game. Give me the under 47. We've got LSU at Ole Miss, the over 76. Some games it just happens. Some games are just going to be ridiculous shootouts. You could see this one. LSU, I think, is going to put up at least 28, 31 points. Ole Miss is due for a blow-up game from Matt Corral. I'm talking 5 or 6 touchdown passes. Matt Corral, I tweeted this on Saturday. I was looking. Matt Corral had 200 yards rushing. Well, he's due for a big passing game. I think he really hasn't thrown a lot of passing touchdowns recently. You're talking 5 or 6 touchdowns for Matt Corral, 50-plus points for Ole Miss. LSU is going to get theirs. They have an okay offense. Although, the run game is still TBD. I don't think LSU has that good of a run game. I know they ran all over Florida, but I don't think they have that good of a run game. But this is one of those games, embrace the shootout. Just embrace it. 76 is a big number. Embrace it. I got Ole Miss scoring 50-plus, LSU scoring 30-plus. That's 80-plus. Embrace the shootout, the over 76. Number 9, Clemson plus 3.5 at Pittsburgh. Don't hate me for this. I am going to be rooting for Pittsburgh in this game. It's this is crazy. This is a crazy line to see Clemson plus 3.5 against Pittsburgh. It's just value. Clemson is way more talented than Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's going to win this game, but when you're talking about even if Pittsburgh wins on a walk-off field goal, or say they win by 3 points, whatever, Clemson is still covering that. I just don't have a lot of faith in Clemson's offense right now. We'll see. It's just value. It's talent. Based on the talent, I'm going to be taking Clemson plus 3.5. I hope Pittsburgh wins. I really do. I think they're going to win. But 3.5, I'll take Clemson in that one. Number 10, UAB minus 23 versus Rice. Guys, I don't know if anyone else is in on this Rice thing with me where you basically just pick against them every week. They are one of the worst teams in FBS. They're horrific. So that's what I'm doing, UAB minus 23 at home. Don't think, just go. Just pick them. That's what I'm doing. Moving on. We got to wait for those. Number 11, Maryland plus 5 at Minnesota. Minnesota's been doing this weird thing where they play really well one week and then terrible the next. Play really well one week, terrible the next. Last week, surprisingly beat Nebraska at home. I think it's a bad week for them. Maybe they still win, but Maryland plus 5 with Tonga Bailoa. I love Tonga Bailoa. I know he lost his number 1 receiver in that Iowa game, unfortunately. That was a Friday night game. I believe this is a 3:30 start, I want to say. So yeah, give me Maryland. The last time we saw them, they did get crushed by Ohio State. And before that, they got crushed by Iowa. But they're due for a bounce-back performance. Minnesota, again, it's one week they're really good, one week they're terrible, one week they lose to Bowling Green, the next week they beat Nebraska. This is a bad week for Minnesota. Minnesota's had a lot of home games, it feels like. This is another home game for Minnesota, but I'll take Maryland on the road plus 5. Number 12, Buffalo minus 11 at Akron. I'm chasing Buffalo. I'm sick of it. I've been picking Buffalo for a while. They haven't covered, but now we're getting them at really good value to where Akron, I know. I think, what did Akron beat Bowling Green a few weeks ago? Buffalo only -11 against one of the worst teams in FPS. I understand Akron, again, beat Bowling Green, but I still think Akron's a really bad team. Buffalo, -11 in that one. It is a road game, but I'll take them. Number 13, New Mexico at Wyoming. The under 40.5, setting college football back 50 years. Wyoming. Wait, so Fresno State last week, I think, beat Wyoming 17-0. You gotta love football in Wyoming. It's amazing. I'm taking the under. I'm embracing a 0-0 game. I hope the final score is like 3-0. 0-0 going into overtime. We need another game like that. We really do in college football. Embrace it. I hope these two teams combine to score like 10 points. You gotta embrace it. You gotta embrace it. Ohio State at Indiana, the over 60. Lock. Absolute lock. This game has 56-24 written all over it. Every week you want to take Ohio State against the spread and the over in the Ohio State game. Every single week. It's free money, ladies and gentlemen. It's free money. And my final bet, South Carolina plus 19.5 at Texas A&M. You know, I actually think Texas A&M is on upset alert here a little bit. I'm just not buying Texas A&M. I'm really not. I'm sick of hearing about it. And the thing is, South Carolina, people are going to say, oh, they nearly lost to Vanderbilt last week. Guys, this is college football. This is what happens. Teams play terrible one week and good the next. I get it's in College Station. Plus 19.5. This is going to be a surprisingly close game. It's a night game. There's not going to be a lot of atmosphere, you know, Texas A&M fans are going to think they're going to crush South Carolina. It's going to be closer than people think here. Closer than people think. South Carolina plus 19.5. You may want to wait because that line is probably going to move to like plus 21, honestly. There's going to be a lot of money going in. The public is going to go on A&M here. I'll guarantee you that. The public's going to be like, oh, South Carolina nearly lost to Vanderbilt. There's no way A&M doesn't beat them by 40. Folks, this is the way college football betting works. I've done this for a while now. I can see things. I see into the future. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.